Good afternoon. Morning. Look at that. I have not heard precisely what they said as to what their reasons were, but NATO very likely will end up engaged in that subject through a different route. It's my understanding that the next step very likely would be Turkey coming back in as is the right of any member nation, and having the subject engaged again through a different mechanism of NATO. I think it's unfortunate that they are in stark disagreement with the rest of their NATO allies. There's 3 countries. There are 19 countries in NATO, so it's 16 to 3. I think it's a mistake, and what we have to do for the United States is make sure that that planning does go forward, preferably within NATO, but if not bilaterally or multiple bilaterals, and we are already going about that task.
You are a target. It is a way of life that is despised.
The planning is going to go forward outside of NATO if necessary. The plan to see that Turkey's circumstance is as it should be. It's an important ally in NATO. It's a moderate Muslim state, and it seems to me that those 3 countries taking that position prevents NATO from fulfilling its obligation to a NATO ally, and I'm sure that NATO will find a way to do it eventually.
And to so many of the United States allies.
We were hopeful till the last minute that those 3 countries would not do what they've now done. The work is starting, and it will proceed at a good clip and in good time.
And explicitly make it clear that it is a pre-deployment only.
Well, I think you will get something out of the United Nations. You may not get what I've called a black or white resolution. You could get a grey resolution. And I think if you get a grey resolution, you've then got to make a judgment as to what you do. I'm not going to hypothesise about that judgment at this stage. There's nothing achieved by that. I mean, the value of another resolution, and the stronger the better, will be the additional diplomatic heat it puts on Iraq. Can I go back to what I said a moment ago? If there is a faint hope of this thing being solved without military force, that faint hope is to be found in the whole world saying the same thing and saying it very loudly to Iraq, and most particularly the Arab states saying, mate, the game is up.
NATO protection for Turkey, saying that
Good morning.
Morning.
Thank you all.
Thank you.
What's your reaction to Belgium's move in NATO this morning?
I hope that NATO now realize that they have an obligation to assist a NATO member who asks for help. And I hope that Article 4 will produce a solution so that we can make sure Turkey is not put at any risk.